Good morning, Anne Marie here with That Girl Organizes. So today is Fun Fact Friday. I have my Hawks gear on. It's kind of one of my props today. So I am a huge Hawks fan. I have had a son playing hockey since he was 4 years old. He's almost 10 now. And it was actually funny in the beginning. There are some squirrels like killing each other over here. I couldn't catch it all the time. Hey Carrie, good to see you. It was really funny because as a mom you're like, okay, where's the puck? You know, I had no idea who scored. I didn't know where the puck came from. It's a very, very fast game, which is why I actually really love it now, because it is fast. Golf, I'm sorry, but that is just a snoozer. Bowling, it's okay. And then of course I have a son who plays baseball, same kid. Luckily, he is a pitcher. Hey Dan, first baseman, and he's really fun to watch. So he has a lot of action going on during baseball, but I still can't believe those games have to be 2 hours. Hey Jennifer. So I'm a Hawks fan, and I have a story about Scott Darling. So years ago, right before they won the Stanley Cup, and then when they finally did win, a friend of mine she has a chiropractic place, and she had these pens that had her name on it, and she said, I'll give anyone $500 who wins my contest. And I said, okay, you know, what does this include? And she said, it's just a photo contest. You have to have the best photo with my pen. Okay, cool, I'm gonna win it. And she's like, all right, what are you gonna do? I had no idea, but I just knew I was gonna win it. Hey Jen. And I get into the contest, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? So lo and behold, at one summer hockey practice, in walks Scott Darling. I'm like, huh. And somebody said, oh yeah, we knew he was coming. I'm like, well, that would have been nice to let somebody else know. I've got to run home and get this pen, and I went and grabbed a couple of hockey pucks that we had laying around to have him sign. So I come back, and you know, there's people just casually in the bar taking pictures with him. I'm like, hey, do you mind if I take pictures? Like, no problem. And I didn't even take my picture except my son. So my son's like, well, Mom, can I go first? I said, sure, whatever. So I'm taking all these pictures with the kids, and they're all excited. And, you know, they're crystal clear, great pictures. My son takes my picture, and I said, Scott, would you mind just holding this pen with me? He's like, whoa. Is this like a trick pen? Is this gonna electrocute me? I just about peed my pants laughing. I'm like, no, this is not a trick pen. You remember those little goofy gadgets you could buy at the pharmacy when you were a kid? I think he thought it was like some kind of joke, like it was literally gonna shock him. So I thought that was hilarious. He was like jumping back, and he's a huge man. I mean, he's 6'6", like 230 some pounds, and he was afraid of my pen. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I'm like, no, you know, here, I'm touching it, it's fine. He's like, okay, so I'm holding one end, he's holding the other. I'm like, I have got this in the bag. I'm gonna win $500 like that. This is gonna be so easy. I'm gonna title it, I'm sitting here thinking of this in my head. I'm gonna title this, would you like to borrow my pen, darling? And I thought, awesome, this is gonna be fantastic. I've got $500 in my pocket, so my son took a couple pictures, and like, hey, thanks, Scott, really appreciate it. I know it's a little weird. He's like, yeah, it's a little weird, and went on my merry way. So I go home, and I can't wait. I'm gonna send this out. I'm gonna post it, and I look at the pictures. They're freaking blurry. I mean, not just a little blurry, really blurry, and I just about died. And my son who was taking it was, what we've been, like 12 or 13 at the time. Like, you've got to be kidding me. You couldn't hold this camera still for 1 second. And the pictures were so bad. I had a friend who worked at the Chicago Tribune, and she worked in photos. I shot it to her. I'm like, is there any way you can clean this up? And she's like, Anne Marie, it's really bad. She's like, I will do everything I can to make it clear. What part do you want to show? I'm like, can you just show his face, mine some, and then this stupid pen? And she's like, yeah, sure, I'll try. Well, it was okay, I mean, but it was really, really bad picture, so I submitted it. I did not win because they couldn't see it very well. So I was really disappointed in that. Now there's Scott Darling incident. I don't know, I have really bad luck with this guy. Really nice guy, by the way, very, very sweet. So I really wanted to see the Stanley Cup. They had just won it, and it was at something in Lamont. Now, my husband has an inn at Lamont because he knows the ex-chief of police. So he goes traipsing and he's like, oh, I'm here, Anne Marie, you know, I'm going in. I'm like, oh, that's nice. And he's like, all right, I'm going back to work. I mean, he got in like 10 minutes, but they had some backdoor thing. And, you know, just privileged people like him got in. So he gets in, he's meeting everybody, he's taking pictures with the Stanley Cup, and like, that's great. He's like, are you okay out there? It looks like there's a storm coming. Oh, lo and behold, there were 3 storms coming. I waited 4.5 hours to see the Stanley Cup. We were about 100 people up to getting in to see the Stanley Cup. And guess what they did? They said, we're all done. We're all done. Are you kidding me? I had a baby strapped to my chest in 3 rainstorms for 4.5 hours. I was so ticked, I can't even tell you. I just wanted to cry. It was a horrible experience. So a few months later, late in the summer, I found out that the cup was coming near us again. It was going to be at the Bolingbrook Golf Club. I'm like, all right, well, this maybe will work out, I hope. And like, you know, I really want to see this. What do I have to do? Get up at 4 in the morning? No, you pay somebody. So I paid somebody lunch. That's all he wanted. I was willing to give him $100. I just gave him lunch afterwards. He and his girlfriend waited for 3 hours, and my family showed up. I just showed up with all the kids. We got in line like half an hour before they opened the door, and we went and saw the cup. How awesome was that? Now it was using my brain. Why stand there and wait and wait and wait? So what is interesting about you? Hey, Patty, I know you have something interesting, Patty. Patty doesn't know that. Well, you know what? I'm going to leave this for next Friday. I have something that relates to Patty really well that she doesn't know about me. So I'm also a Sox fan. Huge Sox fan. So I do think baseball is boring. I really do. But I grew up on the South Side. I worked on the South Side. I just like the Sox. It's kind of funny how it works. It's kind of what your parents trained you to do. Although I know in Kurt's case, he went to lots of Sox games with his grandpa, and his sister is an avid Cubs fan. So we don't talk about that too much. So what's interesting about you? Good morning, Melissa. I gave you a ton of fun facts about me and my Blackhawk history. Give me some fun facts about you. And I'll have to say, when they got Patrick Sharp, oh my gosh, that man is dreamy. Have you seen him up close? He is gorgeous. This is like a model gorgeous. That man is beautiful to look at, I gotta say. There's some players, it's funny now because there's so many young players, you swear they can't even drive, they look so young. But Patrick Sharp, that man's good looking, and I have not met him. I would love to meet him. Good looking guy. I've also met, what's his name? Bob Hull, older guy. Met him a couple times, got some signatures from him. Nice guy, just much older. Let's see. You did not, Patty. She did a commercial with Patrick Kane and she didn't know who he was. That's hilarious, Patty. Oh my gosh, my son would have flipped over backwards. We have all kinds of Patrick Kane stuff. His whole room is Blackhawks. That is so funny. I've heard that before. I saw something where there was a live video where Patrick Kane and I think a couple of the other players, I can't remember who at this moment, were sitting next to some guys at a baseball game. They had no clue. They were just talking, you know, hanging out, and people taking pictures, and they just couldn't figure out why. Wow, that's awesome. But then again, if there were some Cubs players sitting next to me, I'd be clueless. Hey, and my daughter's on, or my mom, depending who's using the phone today. I get to pick up my daughter from Wisconsin today. I'm excited to see her. She's been visiting my mom and brother for weeks and weeks while we get the house together, so that's kind of fun. So what's another fun fact about you? Somebody. Thanks for all the thumbs up. I appreciate it. Something fun. I didn't want to share too much because then I just go on and I don't hear about you. I know my mom, okay, so my mom was a flight attendant on Delta. and I know that she met a bunch of famous people. I think, was it the Hawks team, Mom, or was it the Sox? I know the whole team was on your flight a few times out of Chicago. Anybody? Anybody? My daughter probably has the phone. She probably can't type too quick. That's all right. We'll find out for next time. Yes, my mom was a Delta stewardess. Oh, the Hawks. And I believe she and my mom and my dad had front row on the glass tickets. And this was when it was really a bloody game. My dad would tell me that Bobby Hall and some of the other guys would get nasty, nasty fights. There'd be teeth flying on the ice. I believe, I don't know if they wore helmets. I know they did not have the masks. They lost teeth all the time. That's yowzers. I don't know why you'd want to play that sport without a mask. Yikes. But I know that she met a lot of awesome people. Any other awesome people that you met, Mom? Nothing. So who else have you met? I've met quite a few other famous people. Who have you met? I have been to lunch with Cale Yarbrough. He isn't exactly with it right now from what I understand. He is in a nursing home here in Illinois, not far from here. My dad actually had a beef jerky plant. I know this is funny. It was called Carver's. And he had these products called Dinky Links, which were basically like Slim Jim but way better. I mean, honestly, they just tasted way better. So it was very competitive, and my dad decided he was going to sponsor Cale Yarbrough's car. So on the back, right on the back of the trunk, was a whole Dinky Link sign. And he tried that for a year. It didn't really do too much, but that was a way my dad was going to try to advertise, and I thought that was interesting. So I was lucky enough to go with my dad to North Carolina, maybe it was South Carolina, I honestly don't remember. I think I was a teenager. We flew out there for the day, went to Cale Yarbrough's office, which is right off his house. Pretty house, by the way, really, really beautiful up on a hill. And then we had lunch with him, and we flew right back home. And then signed some papers, paid some money, and there you go. You can advertise with Cale Yarbrough's car. Really nice man. Very, very nice man. Family orientated. Just a really, really sweet guy. No BS there. Really liked him. My family has had lunch with Burt Reynolds. I was not there. I was out water skiing or something, and he was in a bookstore in Florida with my dad. Hey, Rick. And they're in a bookstore, and my dad's like, "You're Burt Reynolds." And he's like, "Yes, I am." And he goes, I really have loved your acting career. We're about to go to lunch. Do you want to go to lunch with us? He said, sure. So he had lunch with my family. I thought that was kind of interesting. Wonder if that happens a lot. I don't know if stars usually just whimsy, just do whatever, go to lunch with strangers. I think that would be interesting to do as a celebrity. I haven't gotten there yet, but I'm working on it. So I guess that is it for today. I'm Anne-Marie Gunther of That Girl Organizes. Don't forget, get organized, stay organized, have a beautiful weekend, and I can't wait to talk to you next Friday about Fun Fact Friday. I've got some more juicy stuff. Talk to you later.